can give a good example of how many men might make up a cohort, then, you know, text in.
But certainly, is 3 enough for a cohort?
Yeah.
Good.
I think so.
All right, well, thank you very much indeed. There'll be more of that improving education from Rufus during the course of the show. Plus, of course, some damn great music. Is that a problem? You got a problem with that? You got an issue with that, Ruf?
Nah, I can deal with that, Steve.
New single from their current album, Merryweather Post Pavilion. That's Animal Collective and the tune My Girls. Steve Show 6 Music with me, Steve Merchant. It was a day of mixed fortunes yesterday from a good self. I don't think I didn't win £10 on the... oh, yeah. On the, you know, the Grand National. Sorry,
really?
I should have finished that sentence, but what else was I going to win £10 on yesterday?
Well, the National Lottery?
Oh,
how did you win £10? Wasn't the winner 100 to 1? Did you put 10
well, no, I had each way on one of the other horses that came in. Yeah, that would have been sweet, wouldn't it? Oh. I got a little bit annoyed that I hadn't bet on that one. Just, you know, annoyed with fate.
Everyone is. Everyone's walking around going, oh, I wish I'd have put 20 quid on that.
Exactly,
But the whole point is that it was such a ridiculous horse to bet on. No one did. But everyone's going around just punching themselves in the face today, saying, oh, I wish I'd done it.
I know, I certainly did. No, that's fine. I picked up little winnings on one of the other horses. Because remember once I went to the horse racing with you, remember Boxing Day, first time I'd ever been?
Yeah.
And I got all my tips from CFAX.
Yeah.
And I went on an accumulator. Yeah. Every single one of them came in. It was amazing.
Incredible.
I made about £112 because I only bet about tuppence,
yeah.
You know, being a cautious gambler. So now I love the gambling. Oh yeah, so I know gambling, gambling, drinking, drugs, smoking. Don't do any of it, kids. Anyway, gambling, yeah, brilliant. But anyway, so I was obviously keen to watch the big race, to see how I was going to get on. And now the fellow who won it, what's his name? Treadway. Unsurprisingly, Liam Treadwell was his name, right? Now, I was watching the race, and he won, obviously brilliant, glorious day for him. He's got some pretty poor set of teeth on him, right?
Really?
There's a rotten pair of teeth.
So those sugar lumps they give it.
But really, it's... No, well, you know how they will look at a horse's teeth and just sort of inspect the quality of the horse?
Yeah.
Well, if they'd inspected Liam's teeth before the race, they'd have pulled the curtains round and shot him. I mean, do you know what I mean? It's kind of man alive, they're grim. And I thought, oh, God, that's a bit poor. Keep your mouth shut, you know, as you do your little sort of trot around the paddock. Anyway, so comes to Claire Balding, who's the host. Bear in mind, he's on top of the world. He can't believe it.
Yeah.
Because he's just won the Grand National. And she goes, oh, yeah, Liam, well done, yeah. And he's like, yeah, thanks very much, yeah. She went, oh, open your mouth, show us your teeth. Cool, you got some bad teeth, haven't you, Liam? On national TV, there's millions watching. She's like, look at this, look at that. You can afford to get them done now, can you, after this? For the big win. His face. Man alive, talk about long in the mouth. Oh, it was...
But there's a clear benefit to having bad teeth as a jockey, because he obviously came from the back of the pack yesterday, roared right through the field, and if he just opens his mouth a little bit, as he's flying through, the wind whistling through the cracks in his teeth just terrifies the jockeys ahead of him. They know he's coming, they can't do anything about it.
Well, that, in a more in-depth interview in today's Sunday Times, I'm sure that's what he detailed. But anyway, so I was quite happy as Larry, thinking, brilliant, I've won a sweet tenner. Yeah. But flipping through the Guardian yesterday, looking in, and I noticed on the front it said exclusive photographs of the nation's best and most controversial DJs. I thought, hang on, I don't remember having my photo taken.
We're pretty edgy.
Through. We're pretty edgy, as you know. No, didn't even see my face in there.
You kidding?
My face not in there. Couldn't believe it. Wogan's in there.
Legend.
You know, George Lamb, you know, it's all the big hitters. Legend. But nowhere to be seen. What's going on?
Extraordinary. Not even pictures of us as well. That's
no one. None of me or my cohort. Not a single image of any of us. I don't know what we're doing wrong. I honestly don't know what we're doing wrong. Tell me now. I mean, tell me what we're doing wrong. Oh, I mean, aside from a poor show, what are we doing wrong?
Well, you're a pretty high-profile guy.
High profile.
You know, this is going out at a reasonable time. You know, it's the weekend. People are sat at home listening to their radios.
Was it an order? Was there a top 10 or anything like that? Because if you take something from each of the key DJs, we could possibly have the best show ever.
Should we just steal? All the? I mean, you know, because what does Moyles do? He's a bit naughty.
Mm-hmm. He insults a lot of people.
Yeah. Shut up, you're a woman.
There you go.
Alright, so that's
He does get up very early, though. That's not
He does get up very early, but he'll have a good... what's he got in trouble for recently? He called someone gay when they were gay.
Yeah.
He accused Will Young of being gay.
Well, I think it was more he made fun in a kind of hackneyed 70s styling.
Right, brilliant. Okay, let's make a note of some of this then.
Yeah.
Hackneyed 70s... Right, good. Well, there's plenty... There's loads of stuff we can do there.
Yeah.
We can just reduce everyone to a cliché.
Yeah.
I.e. if someone was from the north or someone had a vaguely posh accent, we could reduce them to a caricature. I don't know if you maybe have a wander around, see if you can dig up the magazine. We'll see see who the big hitters were, see if we can glean anything from their styles. In the meantime, let's get back to the music, because that's one thing they can't fault us on, some quality tunes. Rufus, I know you're a massive fan of post-hardcore noise rockers. Alexis on Fire, am I right?
Steve, I'm surprised you knew that, but I'm a massive fan of it. Have they got a branch-off project of some sort?
Thank you very much, Finley, for asking, because Dallas Green, who's the vocalist with that particular outfit, he's just recently put out his second solo album, and there's some good stuff in there. He records under the name City and Colour, probably why you're not familiar with them.
Right, yeah,
but the album's called Bring Me Your Love, and here's a cracking tune from it. It's called The Girl. City and Colour, the tune is called The Girl, the album is Bring Me Your Love. Steve Show 6 Music, cracking tune. You had a quick response there, didn't you, from one of the listeners?
Yep, anonymous texter ending 36. I heard Claire Boulding ruin Liam Treadwell's moment of glory with her nasty dig about his teeth. Poor man was gutted. She's got a cheek with her 1984 hair.
Ooh, I wouldn't like to be balding right now.
Right now, burned.
And thank you to the legions of texters who told us that a cohort contains 480 legionnaires and 6 centurions. Excellent nerding.
Dynamite information. We're a little bit panicked because we have not been featured in the Guardian's best presenters ever on the radio, and everyone else is in there, it seems. All of 6 Music are in there.
Everyone.
Well, all of them, chiefly being Adam and Joe. And is there anyone else, as far as I'm concerned? No. Although I'd love to see Huey Morgan in there. What about Guy Garvey? You know, there's a lot of big names that are missing. Those guys are going to be furious. Co is going to be absolutely livid. Yeah, I don't know what we're feeling. Maybe if we can improve this radio show by just gleaning what makes all of those different shows special. Wogan, of course, in there. Now, I would not dispute for one moment that Wogan is one of the most successful DJs in the country, and obviously still listened to by 8-9 million people. Still, as I said before, I have no idea what he's talking about. I've got no concept. I try and tune in, and my mum's a massive fan if I'm ever home there and she's got the radio on. I tune in, I don't know what's going on. I don't know when one conversation ends and the next one begins. As of before, it'll be often, Rocket Man, Elton John, whilst holidaying in the Maldives, writes Mrs. Johnson. What are you talking about, Terry? Are you still talking about the song? Are you reading a letter? Did you go on holiday in the Maldives? Did you meet Mrs. Johnson? What are you talking about? And apparently, 8 or 9 million people tune in on his every word. So obviously he's doing something right. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on, but
you see, Steve, he's got a latent audience, hasn't he? You know, people just switch on their radios in the car. It's tuned to Radio 2. You're going to listen to Terry, aren't you? Whereas you've got to make an effort to find this show. So I think our very small pool of listeners, they make much more of an effort.
But would they like more letters read out?
I think they probably would.
Great, you've got a letter, haven't you? Ruf, you
have got a quick letter.
Fantastic, yeah, because a couple of weeks back, Rufus was reading from various bits of fan mail. This is an amazing coincidence.
This is a new bit of fan mail I've received. Dear Mr. Wright, I've been trying for everyone that's been in Quantum of Solace.
We should point out that Rufus had a brief part in the film Quantum of Solace.
You were a Treasury agent.
You know that, right?
Yeah. I couldn't find a picture of you on the net. First credit is Bomber in 2000, and you've worked on Fanny Hill, POW, Doctors and the Bill. You haven't done my favourite Doctor Who. Enclosed is an international coupon in the hopes that you have a photo that you're willing to sign and send a Quantum of Solace pic that you aren't in case you don't.
Fantastic. Which is great, because that sounded not unlike something Wogan might say.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you could do that in a kind of long Irish drawl.
Yes. I have enclosed an international coupon. In the hopes that you have a photo that you're willing to sign and send a Quantum of Solace pic that you don't in case you don't. That you aren't in case you don't. Have a fun year, he finishes.
BBC Radio 2. There you are. 8 million listeners guaranteed. Who else is in there? We've got Rossi, obviously. I don't think we need to go into Ross territory.
Yeah.
We've tried to be controversial in previous weeks, and that failed.
Didn't really pay off.
Do you know what? I have got Russell Brand's phone number. We could call him up and leave a filthy message.
Really?
We'll see how things pan out, but that might be an idea for Happers 4.
Yeah.
And, who else is in there? We've got,
Mylene Class.
Mylene Class?
Radio legend.
Is she? M&S Lovely Class is also one of the nation's most controversial presenters. Tarrant, of course, fantastic, yeah.
Tarrant.
A&J. Thico. James Jamie Theakston. What is he? He's not famous for anything, is he?
Thico?
Did he once spend time with the Lady of the Night?
I think he may have done allegedly.
You've got a lot of spare time, haven't you? On your hands?
I could do that.
If you could get that sorted for next week, that would be dynamite.
If need be, can I claim it on expenses?
I think you should. Excellent. That's fantastic. Listen, I'll tell you, if the Home Secretary can, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Harry, let's have a musical choice from you, if we may.
Taken from vinyl this week from my very own flat, complete with crackles, pops and hisses. This is the Sultan's Permission to Board.
Harry's choice on this week's show?
Permission to Board by the Sultans. You can find it on their Walk of Shame 7-inch in record shops or on the internet.
Thank you very much. From 1976, the Jackson Sisters, and I Believe in Miracles. Please don't think those are people related to Michael Jackson. Don't make that mistake, Harry, again. I remember that time you did that in that...
it was awful, yeah. I got run out of town.
Yeah, it was at that pub quiz, remember, where it was a man's life at stake.
Yeah, yeah.
Particularly foolish. I don't know why we were down Mexico way.
Yeah.
Brackets, do they execute people in Mexico? I have no idea. Get in touch.
He died, possibly. We were run out of time.
We were run out of time.
Hilarity ensued.
Hilarity indeed ensued. We should tell that anecdote one week.
Yeah.
Yes, so we're trying to think how we can get ourselves on the list of top radio presenters. We've fallen short of that. A lot of newscasters on there, of course. A lot of news people. And I was reading the tremendous story, front page of The Observer today. Did you read it about teachers having launched a devastating attack on parents, accusing them of failing in their responsibilities?
Oh, really?
And it says, children are now arriving at school socially undeveloped, unable to dress themselves, unable to use the toilet properly, unable and unused to eating at a table. Really? Eating at a table? But where are they eating? They're not eating at a table. Firstly, why can't they figure out? Lap trays? Is it just a kind of like a bowl, like a dog's bowl on the floor now? Is that how kids... And apparently these aren't even kids from sort of Sammy's neck of the woods. These are kind of regular, proper, normal, kind of moneyed kids.
To be fair, like, we do have a table, but we use it probably 3 times a year. It is normally just trays off the knees in front of the massive telly.
I imagine if you staggered towards the table, you'd figure out how to use it, right? You wouldn't just be hitting your head against it.
Now I'm 22 and nearly a half, probably yes.
You wouldn't be banging the table hoping the food will flip up into your mouth. You presumably have some idea of how it was done. But no, it says, apparently, but generally parents now often expect teachers to socialise their kids, and to teach them all the things. And apparently people often come in and threaten teachers. And it says, recent incidents included a father who had encouraged his child to start a playground fight, and a parent who provided a raw egg for a pupil to crack over a teacher's head. This is amazing, idea. Kids are coming home and asking their parents, I want to crack something over my teacher's head. How much do you hate him? He just gave me bad marks in maths. Well, a brick's too much. Have an egg.
P.S. Stop going to the toilet on the floor
exactly,
and put some trousers on.
But what I like was Justine Roberts of mumsnet.com. They've obviously got to get the flip opinion. She obviously, I presume she's sort of very much a spokeswoman for mums across the country. And she said that parents were under tremendous pressure to do many things, including following directives coming down from government. We've got to read an hour a day to our children, make sure they have 5 fruit and vegetables, and make sure they watch no more than 20 minutes of TV. Oh, heaven forbid, Justine, that you might have to raise your child and give them fruit and vegetables and read to them instead of just sticking them in front of the box whilst you, who knows what, go down the pub for more booze and bingo. Is that what you want to do, Justine? Yeah?
Reminds me of that Chris Rock thing. Do you remember when he was saying, people being really, really proud of raising their child? I'd raise my child.
Yeah.
Of course you do. You're supposed to do.
It's your child.
You don't deserve praise for doing stuff that you're clinically, biologically bred to do.
Don't tell me that I have to give my children fruit and vegetables. If I want to give them pizza for breakfast, I will. And that's that thing, is like you have to have... Well, it angers me because you have to have licences for so many things in this country, don't you? You have to have licences for cars, obviously, and weaponry.
Yeah.
Apparently not to raise a child. Any old slag can raise a child, apparently. And not have to feed it properly. Or read to it. Heaven forbid my child should be literate.
I'm just trying to think this through, Steve. How are you going to... Is it going to be a kind of ban on doing it?
I'm more of an ideas man. I want you to think of this show as like a think tank. Okay, this is very much a think tank, and it's for you, the politicians, to implement these things. You can think up the rhyme and reason. I don't know. Yeah, you say you go to your doctor. So I'm thinking of, I've been, me, husband, and I have been going at it lately. We think, we've not been using the requisite equipment. It might be time to get the license. And then he asks you sensible questions like, would you resent reading to your child or telling them how to put their pants on?
Again, you're looking over something there. Someone who's prepared to go for a license can probably deal with a child. It's the scumbags where I'm from that can barely peel themselves out of a gutter.
But this is my point, Sammy. According to the article, it's not just people from rough estates. It's